Hello all and thanks for tuning in. Today I'll be going into depth about the upbringing and lifestyles of one of the world's most influential designers, Raymond Loewy. To first gain some understanding of how Raymond Loewy became so influential, we must backtrack and explore what led to becoming an industrial designer and what led to becoming one of the world's best. Born November 5th, 1893 in Paris, France, Loewy would start his journey in a different country. Loewy studied electrical engineering at the University of Paris, graduating in 1910. His studies in advanced engineering at the École de l'Anneau were interrupted by World War I, in which he served in the French army. Loewy received his degree in 1918. That same year, the Spanish flu had taken a toll on many countries and individuals with no exception. This led to the death of both his parents, leaving him with only his brother. Loewy immigrated to the United States in 1919. Whilst on his journey, the winning of a shipboard sketching contest led Loewy to gain interest in the fashion design world. This ties directly into his first profession, and worked as a fashion illustrator for Vogue magazine. In 1929, he received his first industrial design commission to contemporize the appearance of a duplicating machine by Gestina, giving it a form that would remain unchanged for 40 years. This change in profession led to the change of mindset. Now wanting to pursue industrial design, Loewy followed his heart. Loewy decided to start his own design organisation in 1929, which not only helped with the redesign of the duplicating machine, but also with the creating for a name for himself within the industrial design realm. In 1934, Sears would ask for the design of a new refrigerator called the Cold Spot. This Art Deco-inspired design created by Loewy was a great commercial triumph, selling 255,000 units and winning first prize at the Paris International Exposition of 1937. During the 1930s and 40s, Loewy designed a wide variety of not only household products with rounded corners and simplified outlines, but also large-scale automotive and transport items, such as planes for Boeing and locomotives for Pennsylvania Railway Company. With a growing reputation and backlog of work, in 1945 he formed Raymond Loewy Associates. With 5 partners at the time, it became the largest industrial design firm in the world. Loewy was not only known for the specific designs he created, but also for the larger design philosophy that he took into consideration: marketing, economics, usability, and relationship between form and function. His theory of most advanced yet acceptable, a concept that utilizes the contradiction between a consumer's love for the new and fear of the new. His answer to this contradiction was to sell something surprising, make it familiar, and to sell something familiar, make it surprising. Loewy used this principle when it came to the ideation of streamlining items, turning familiar products into something surprising. This is clearly seen through the forms taken out on the locomotives for Pennsylvania Railway Association. Unlike many designers of his time, Loewy understood the link between design and marketing, positioning that between two products equal in price, function, and quality, the better looking one will outsell the other. Loewy explored many different types and areas of design, but one of the main realms which brought success was using Art Deco styling. This can be seen through many of the products created within the 30s and 40s. Loewy was a large reason why the American market grew so largely invested into the Art Deco era. Not only did the styling characteristics make its way through many homes in the form of products, but also within many buildings through architecture, which can clearly be seen to have some connection to Loewy's early works. Loewy established a relationship with the Pennsylvania Railroad after a design for a new trash can for the company caught their eye, leading to some of his most renowned and most notable designs. Some of the work for the firm involved their passenger locomotives. He designed a streamlined shroud for the K4 Pacific to hold the newly redesigned 1938 Broadway Limited. He followed by styling the experimental S1 locomotive as well as the T1 class. In 1940, Loewy designed a simplified version of the streamlined shroud for another 4 K4s. In 1942, he designed the streamlined shroud for the experimental duplex engine Q1, which was his last work of streamlining PRR's steam engines. In 1946, at Pennsylvania Railroad's request, he restyled Baldwin's diesel with a distinctive shark nose reminiscent of the T1. He also designed the experimental steam turbine engine V1 triplex for PRR, which was never built. While he did not design the famous GG1 electric locomotive, he improved its appearance with welded rather than riveted construction. He also added a pinstripe paint scheme to highlight its smooth contours. The PRR S1 locomotive, being the most famous for the time, was displayed at the New York World's Fair of 1939, with the lettering American Railroads rather than Pennsylvania Railroad. At the fair, the drive wheels operated under the locomotive's steam power and ran continuously on the roller platform at 60 miles an hour or 100 kilometers an hour all day long. The cost to build the S1 locomotive was $669,000, equal to $12.3 million today. Some of Loewy's later works included many American icons such as many of the Studebaker cars, taking the Art Deco styling to the automotive industry. The original Air Force One design was also created by Loewy, which was first rolled out in the 1960s, and has now taken many forms carrying on the same traditional colourway of blue, white and silver. Having ties with the presidential areas of the United States, Loewy also contributed to the final design of the Skylab space station per government request. In Loewy's later years, the focus turned to more graphic design realms, designing many iconic logos such as Shell and United Postal Service. In 1980, Loewy retired at the age of 87 and returned to his birthplace, France. He died in his Monte Carlo residence on July 14, 1986. He was raised a Roman Catholic and was buried in the cemetery of a Catholic church at Rochefort and Yvelines, a village located 40 kilometres southwest of Paris, where he owned a rural home named Le Sens. Loewy's wife Viola and their daughter Lawrence continued to work in the firm, which still operates today. In recent years, Loewy has been referred to as the godfather of design, as the innovation and creation that he brought to the area of design has undoubtedly changed the way products are created to this day. Not only was the actual way items were designed changed, but also the way consumer knowledge is used to help make a product that suits the dialogue of users. Loewy's ideation will forever have an effect on the world of design.